What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 of the 2023 season, and we're back with the Fade. I'm here once again with Steve Laurie. And Steve, what are we going to talk about today?
I think we should start with Zach Wilson's performance, man, against Kansas City. I mean, I think he had a pretty good game, even with the loss. He took it pretty hard at the end. He was saying how it was on him and shit. I really don't think Zach Wilson played bad. I really don't. You have to give him credit when it's due. He threw for 245 yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns. He did have a fumble, but he also had a great game, I think. If you were watching him play, he made great decisions the whole game, I think. Even the one play when they were in the end zone, did you see him hide the ball and then throw it? Kind of just like tucked it and threw it. He looked like Aaron Rodgers when he did that. You could tell Aaron Rodgers taught him that shit. I think as the season goes on, I mean, I don't want to hype Zach Wilson up and say, like, oh, I think Zach Wilson's going to be good. But I do think Zach Wilson's going to get better and better, and he's going to progress this season for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Namath, after what he said about Zach Wilson, he was saying last week that he's seen enough, and now he goes and says, I hope he stays for 10 years. I take it back what I said. I don't know if I'm necessarily buying into the hype with Zach Wilson yet. Like, you know, it is one game, but it was a big time game. You know what I mean? Sunday Night Football against Kansas City Chiefs. The lights are bright. You know, yeah, like you said, dude, he had that beautiful no look or hiding the ball pass to CJ Uzomah. That's something that he had to get out of the book with Rodgers. You know what I mean?
It's hell right. That's
something that Rodgers would do.
Rodgers is known for.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he had that, dude, a beautiful back shoulder throw to Tyler Conklin. He didn't even go out there and make many mistakes, you know. And I think that it shows a lot, too, with him because last year he had a loss to the Patriots. And they're like, does it hurt when the offense only puts up – or when a defense holds a team to 3 points and they still beat you? And he's like, no. You know, so he had a lot – his character's developing into a better – more mature athlete, more mature person, and a leader of the team. Like this year, he said, you know, that fumble, I take it on me, and he blamed the loss on him. I think that loss goes to the refs, in all honesty. I think that was a bullshit call at the end with Sauce Gardner. I forget who he was covering Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I'm pretty sure. And, dude, it was just a normal play. Like, he ran into Sauce. Sauce's hand was over him, but you never see him tug the jersey. Like, he knew it would get called if he did. And, like, he let his hand go. And Mahomes, dude, threw it up. It gets picked off. And what happens? Boom, refs. You know what I mean? And they didn't even give Zach Wilson a chance to come back at the end. But, I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes with them. They versus the Denver Broncos this week. That's a team that hasn't been doing much as of late. I really think that Zach Wilson can if he keeps performing like this, dude, that Rodgers can really slow down with his rehab instead of rushing himself back, and Zach Wilson can maybe take over.
Yeah, I definitely think the Broncos defense is a good matchup for Zach Wilson coming off that big game. I think you could expect Zach Wilson to throw for more than 200 yards again against Denver's defense because just the secondary isn't looking really up to par. I mean, you would think Patrick Surtain is one of the best corners in the entire league, and he's been getting burned as of late. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't put it past that Garrett Wilson has a big touchdown or Allen Lazard or somebody like that. Zach Wilson can throw. He really can.
In the first half, he was really I think Garrett Wilson had like 6 out of like 10 targets in the first half. Like, he was going at at Garrett Wilson, and I think it was just showing the frustration last week with having Garrett Wilson kind of like showing how upset he was. Like, Garrett Wilson's a special receiver. There's no doubt about it. The guy just needs to get the ball, and I think Zach Wilson understands that, you know. And my only concern with the Jets is what's Dalvin Cook doing? You know, I don't think they're running the play calls that really should be in his like element of what he wants and what he needs. He's averaging the fewest rushing yards per carry in the league on a minimum of 50 attempts. You know, so it's not looking good out there. And I think they kind of brought him back just to, all right, maybe Breece Hall isn't fully healthy. Breece Hall looked good though week 1.
He's good.
You know, so I don't know. You signed Dalvin Cook. I think that there needs to be more use with him or not, man. Like, he can go and produce on another team, but I don't know. Dalvin Cook's just a no-show right now. Like I said, he's averaging less than 2.5 yards a carry, and that's a league minimum.
And he's one of the most elusive running backs in the entire league. But I think signing Dalvin Cook was more or less of an insurance policy on Breece Hall, like you said, in case he didn't come back healthy. But he obviously has came back healthy, and since he's complained about not getting enough carries, I think he's doing pretty good. So, I mean, he's not like a full-time starter in fantasy or anything like that, but, I mean, coming off an ACL injury, Breece Hall's not playing bad at all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Splitting carries with Dalvin Cook, he's getting a bigger share than Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, he's getting a majority of those carries.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was more or less an insurance policy in case. And I think he came in, and when he did the visit, they had him practice when he wasn't signed with the Jets, and he looked good. But there's different factors that go into, all right, he looks good in practice, with our system. But on the field, what system we're running isn't for him. You know what I mean? And,
right.
And it might go to show by like week 8, and I'm not going to go and maybe throw that out that he gets traded or released. But I can also see Dalvin Cook, if something doesn't really brew up coming in these upcoming weeks and they're not winning, or even if they are winning, he could go and be like, you know what? Well, I've been 1,000-yard back every year I came into this league. And this season, yeah, maybe I didn't expect to be 1,000-yard back, but I expected a little more myself. I could see maybe a trade or him getting released, but I mean, who knows? He wants to win, and that Jets team is in right now. I still can see them squeezing in the playoffs, even at 1-3.
I think too with Dalvin Cook, I think the line plays a big factor in it too, because Dalvin Cook's not a power back. You know what I mean? He's an elusive running back like Saquon Barkley. He needs time to make a move and kind of get outside or make it like accelerate quick enough to get burst through the line. You know what I mean? He's not known for carrying dudes with him or anything like that. And the Jets don't have a good line. They've proven that on multiple occasions. They have in the game with Zach Wilson even.
He's running for his life half the time.
Yeah, I would say the Jets have one of the worst lines in the league.
Most of his incompletions actually came from throwing the ball away.
On the run.
He's scrambling to the right. There's nothing open. Most of his balls really did come from him throwing the ball away, which is good because he's not sitting there looking to force nothing downfield, which he normally did. Like, he's going and he'll take the checkdowns. But, yeah, that line needs to step it up.
Especially if Rodgers is going to come back too, because he's going to be coming back off an ACL injury, man. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers already isn't mobile. He's going to come back off this ACL injury. He's going to be even more not mobile. You know what I mean? He's just going to be in the pocket trying to make a move the whole time, and he's not going to be able to do anything if he doesn't even have 2 seconds to throw the ball. You know, he's not going to be able to move, dude. He's rushing this ACL injury, saying that he wants to rush and come back. There's no way, dude. The average ACL injury recovery time is like 6 to 9 months, I was reading, and that's on like a younger athlete. There's no way in hell that Aaron Rodgers comes back. I know Brandon was saying that he was going to come back by week 8. There's no way in hell that he comes back by week 8. And I was reading about it too. He really is trying to.
But did you hear the rumor how they're saying that he didn't tear it, that they just said that? I mean, dude, you saw the replay. You know what I mean? You saw the leg pop, like the muscle pop. But people are saying that he didn't. And that's another thing. I was telling Brandon that too, because he's like, Aaron Rodgers will, give them the best chance to win. Yeah, that's right. But again, what you just said about him not being mobile, I said that same thing is he's a 40-year-old guy coming off of a big injury to his leg. He's not going to be able to keep rolling out, dude. Like, you need him to be in that pocket and give him that insurance to where it's like, hey, I'm not going to be taking big hits or chance anything that could get me hurt,
And from what I seen last week, dude, it seemed like almost every play, Zach Wilson had almost less than 2 seconds to get rid of that ball.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time.
No.
But, I mean, he played just in one place, man. It's going to be rough if that line can't step up. That's all I'm saying.
Who would have ever thought, though, that with all the quarterbacks that Patrick Mahomes has ever faced in his 7-year career, that Zach Wilson would be the first quarterback to ever outperform him?
Oh,
he
yeah.
Outperformed him with more completions, more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions. Who would have ever thought, after the scrutiny that Zach Wilson went through, that he was going to come in there, make these back shoulder passes, do these Roger-type plays, and sit there and actually outperform Pat Mahomes? And the shitty part is he ended up losing, and that fumble did cost him. But again, dude, like, congrats to him. And I mean, that has to be a big moral boost. I'm sure he went in that locker room and they all went and patted him on the back and told him to keep his head up. You know what I mean? Like, because Robert Saleh said, if he keeps playing like that, we're going to win some games. We're going to win a lot of games.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, man. I think if Zach Wilson can keep performing like that, they can win. I wouldn't say a lot of games because I don't know if I buy the hype on Zach Wilson. Like you said earlier, it's only one game. But if he looks like that, man, going forward, he's only going to get better. He's a young player. Like they say, man, players get drafted high for a reason. But
yeah, and that's the thing is like you said, and I said, you can't buy into the hype after one game. He has to keep going and go out there and perform. This week you're going up against a Denver defense. This needs to be where you get that win. You just can't start 1-4 because now the Buffalo Bills, which we're going to get into on our next topic, the Buffalo Bills are coming alive. The Patriots are shit in the bed. The Dolphins are still that Super Bowl contending team. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, in order to win that division or squeeze into the playoffs, you got to be doing this week in and week out. And the running team, the running back committee with Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook and then Michael Carter on receiving downs, you just need to step up for this kid. He can't go there, man, and come in and carry the team. That's not who Zach Wilson is. But he did. I mean, he did last week, but that's not what he's made for, and he can't do it week in and week out.
And like I was saying earlier, this defense sets Zach Wilson up perfectly to have another big game and build up some more morale, like you were saying.
Yeah.
It does, man. They have weapons to get the job done. Like you said, too, Garrett Wilson's a phenomenal receiver. He's going to be great by the time he's like Devontae Adams' age. He reminds me of Devontae Adams when he was young, to be honest, in Green Bay. He really does. And I think with like Alan Lazard, too, he's a decent one. Aaron Rodgers had him in Green Bay. Yeah, Tyler Conklin's not even a bad tight end.
Conklin's one of the highest ranked in fantasy for tight ends. I think he's like top 12. Might even be top 7.
As the season goes on, too, I think you see Breece Hall get a lot more receiving catches out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, they need to start using this kid.
They have to start using Breece Hall. They have to start using him because he's obviously healthy and he wants the ball. They have to start giving the ball to that kid.
And since we're talking about the Chiefs, I want to go and say something quick, too. Fuck ESPN, fuck SportsCenter, F all them. I am sick and tired of seeing this Taylor Swift all over.
I know.
Dude, she's not the one playing the game. She's not the one calling the game. I get it. Yeah, all right. A couple posts here and there, boom. All right, yeah, Travis Kelce's dating Taylor Swift. So be it. But in all honesty, a play happens. Dude, a touchdown happened. I think it was Alan Lazard who scored. And she's up in the press. They go and show her right away in the press box. Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? As if she's the one throwing the play calls.
17 times they cut to her on the TV. That's insane.
And I mean, I can't tell you how many times, dude, I scroll through my Instagram or TikTok.
It's all you see, dude. It's all you see. It's so annoying, man.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Now they're even bringing her up like with Philly. You know what I mean? Because now we have Jason Kelce and then we have Swift, Devontae Smith. Devontae Swift or DeAndre Swift. Like, dude. And they're predicting, I have a prediction, or ESPN's predicting it. Kelce, Hurts, Swift, because how they are all lined up. And I'm like, dude, like, let's not talk about that.
Bullshit, dude.
Dude, this lady at the Carolina Panthers game was wearing it was like a t-shirt made, and it was 87, and it had Swift, like 87 with Swift on the back. Yeah, it was Swift. Yeah, like, dude, like, let's focus on football. You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, now all these guys are sitting there saying, "Oh, yo, should we go and like date, like, try and shoot our shot at someone?" You know what I mean? Like,
I think Jason Kelce summed it up pretty good on him and Travis's podcast that I was watching clips of this morning. He pretty much said that the NBA handles it perfectly. Like how the NBA has them like on the side of the court and they just like cut to them one time before the game, maybe one time to see like their reaction on a big play or like a big touchdown. Like I could see cutting to where if Travis Kelce had a big touchdown and then you're cutting up Taylor Swift to see her be like,
her and Kelce's mom like cheering it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But after every fucking play, dude, and even when the Jets are on the field running offense, you have to go up and cut to Taylor Swift. It's an NFL game, but this isn't a Taylor Swift concert. I don't care if she sells out fucking NFL stadiums all across the country.
Yeah.
We're here to watch football, not watch Taylor Swift up in a suite.
And you know what happens, dude? You know what happens with that? And I mean, it sucks for her. Like, you know what I mean? It's not her fault that she's getting shown that much.
No, it's not.
I mean? But now she's literally one of the most hated people in the United States. Everywhere you see the comments.
I'm sure if you went up to Taylor Swift right now and been like, hey, honest opinion, do you think the NFL should stop cutting you so many times and focus on football? I would guarantee fucking she would say yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
the
dude,
whole world
I'm getting,
like, know, dude, that it's too much.
She's probably getting like, dude, like on her comments and stuff, she's probably getting like death threats and shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Because you know how brutal people are, man. Especially those like guys that sit in their mom's basement, dude, at like 30-some years old. They're sitting there like, oh, fuck. Dude.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, fuck Taylor Swift, dude.
She's already one of the most fucking popular people in the whole world.
Literally, dude. So, and now she's getting all this hate and shit because dude, they don't want to stop showing her.
Yeah, and you have to feel bad for Travis Kelce too, man, because like it's his girl, and I don't know.
But you got to think, dude, he's loving it. He's loving the attention.
He probably likes the attention, yeah. But when they're cutting to him, he probably feels like he plays a big part in that. Yeah, I was saying that like he was saying that it's like pretty overwhelming how they keep doing it to him and shit, and like people need to think how he feels. He was saying, but I don't know, man.
People are saying they're like, ain't it sad that Taylor Swift had to put him on the map? No, she didn't.
No, she didn't, dude. He's been the best tight end in the league, arguably the greatest tight end of all time.
I mean, I get he got like 300,000 followers, Instagram followers, and then like his merch sales went up. But that's like people who don't know, like that's Taylor Swift fans and shit who don't know football, but they're like, oh, at her concert, I want to wear his jersey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's follow Travis Kelce to see if he posts Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know, but let's get off that because before Buzz Talk starts getting criticized for talking about Taylor Swift too much, let's go to the Bills. And I'll be the first to say, too, I messed up with – I mean, I was like, yo, how's Miami 3-point underdogs going into this game after they put 70 up? Bills went and blew them out of the water now.
Yeah, I'll admit when I'm wrong too, man, because when we first came back, I was saying on the podcast how I thought Josh Allen was one of the most overrated players in the league and how I think he makes mistakes and shit. Ever since week 1, I think Josh Allen's been playing great. He's only thrown 1 interception. He's thrown 8 touchdowns and over 800 yards. So, I mean, he's probably in the MVP conversation right now, even though they don't make him up this early in the season. I think that if you did make one up right now, Josh Allen would have to be in the top 3 conversation. But yeah, man, I'll admit when I was wrong. Josh Allen's playing great, and the Bills are looking good. Even James Cook, man, is a good running back. And you don't have to. I don't even have to speak on Stephon Diggs, dude. Everybody knows what that dude brings to the fucking table. You see him break those 2 tackles.
Yeah, he's a beast.
That was crazy, dude. Yeah, he's a beast, man. He is a fucking beast.
And his actions on the field speak for themselves. You know what I mean? Like he's been fucking put down so much to where it's like everyone's like, oh, he's not even a top 5.
No, like, he's top. I think
he's in the top 5.
Yeah, he's in top 5 regardless. Top 4, I think top 5. I would probably say is Jefferson, Tyreek, Devontae Adams, Diggs, AJ. That'd be my top 5. So I'd put him right at 4. Honestly, toss up between him and AJ because they both have good games every now and then. So I don't know.
Dude, like everyone will go and say, "Oh, well, they're Eagles fans. They're only throwing AJ in that because they're Eagles fans." Dude, look, stats don't lie. What he does, he went on against a rookie this week, but that's not no random rookie, dude. Like he went and showed Emmanuel Forbes his welcome to the NFL moment, and when he scored on him, dude, on that double move, dude, when he scored on him with that double move in the 4th quarter, he literally went and handed the ball to him and said, "Welcome to the NFL."
Yeah,
he handed him, or he was like, he said something, dude. I forget what he said, but he got in trouble for it. Oh no, he's like, "Here's your receipt," because he was keeping.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he was keeping receipts in his head all game because Forbes was chirping, and he went then, dude, and Forbes kept chirping at him. He went and cooked him on a double move, and took it and like scored on him, and then went and after got in his face, like Forbes was sitting on the ground. He got in his face, handed him the ball, and said, "Here's your receipt. Welcome to the
That's what he
NFL."
said. That's funny.
And then everyone was using like they're circulating about Forbes. Forbes was on the sideline, bro. AJ Brown literally had him crying to his coaches. He was in tears on the sideline, and we'll show the clip. But he was on tears on the sideline, dude, crying, bro.
Very few corners in the league that can cover that man one-on-one.
He's a beast.
Very few. He is so fast. His route running is getting better by the year.
And, dude, how about Devontae's catch? That one, dude, didn't it just look like the one last season when he went up and caught that, dude?
I was just about to say that.
They were both literally identical, bro. Like, honestly. That's insane, man. Like, and that's what's so great about having two guys like that is when one doesn't go off, the other one, man, is more than likely going to go off. Yeah.
I agree.
And, dude, some games will have it themselves, you know? Like, they were making this rumor about, like, A.J. Brown saying, because Devontae had a good game the 1 week and he didn't, that he was bitching, dude, and saying all this stuff to Hurts. And, dude, it's not like that. Like, yo, he was like, dude, as long as we're winning, it is what it is. He's like, but there are times where I'm going to get frustrated when I'm open, not getting the ball. But, dude, AJ, you got to be a team player. You know what I mean? Like, Smitty there, he only had 5 catches last week.
Yeah, you have to realize the people that are on this team.
Yeah, like you're surrounded with great talent.
No, I agree.
But going back onto the Buffalo thing is I said in the beginning, dude, I think that Buffalo they always step up in the second half of the season. And I mean, dude, yeah, like you said, Diggs is insane. Gabe Davis, he had a tutty in that. But I mean, dude, he had an 84% passer completion percentage, 320 yards and 4 TDs. He had a perfect rating of 158.3. You know, so I think he's really stepping up. Like me and my gym teacher were talking about it. Josh Allen beats Josh Allen. That's how Josh Allen loses the games, is he beats himself. You know, and I mean, dude, Buffalo's a deadly team. Again, now they're back in the Super Bowl contention of, hey, with Joe Burrow not doing so good, who's going to be the one to knock the Kansas City off their pedestal? And, I mean, Buffalo, dude, always gives Kansas City a run for their money. You know,
They do.
Yeah, so, I mean, I expect them to come up and I mean, they're taking on the Jags in London. The Jags haven't really been producing that much. I expect Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to have a big game again this week.
No, so do I. I think Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley Calvin Ridley have a big game too. Because Calvin Ridley had a nice touchdown last week, but he hasn't been producing the way that I would like him to in fantasy, man. I have him in 2 leagues in fantasy, and I drafted him kind of high. I took him in the 3rd round, and he's really not producing the way that I would like him to. But he is open a lot, man. But I just feel like a lot of the times, man, where he like catches the ball and it's deep, he goes out of bounds and it gets called back.
Yeah.
I mean, he just gets put in like shitty situations a lot, I think, or it's like a flag or something like that.
And I mean, you have Christian Kirk there, dude. Like he has a lot of weapons around him too. That's what like when he's showing like his stuff in training camp and shit. Like I thought he was gonna go in. Seeing him in training camp, I'm like, you know what? You might as well go and maybe put money on Travis or Calvin Ridley winning AFC Offensive Player of the Year. You know, and I mean, it's just tough, dude. But I mean, because Christian Kirk, he's ranked, I think, 22nd in ESPN Fantasy. I was trying to make a trade for him last night, but like you got Evan Ingram and stuff, dude. Like these guys are all producing.
You know who I'm trying to trade for in fantasy right now while he's on a bye week?
Oh.
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen had 18 receptions and over 200 yards against the Vikings. He didn't have the best game this week. He only had like 30 yards on 3 receptions, I think. But, dude, Eckler's pretty hurt, man. And I think even when Eckler comes back, he's still not going to be at his best. So I think you can really rely on Keenan Allen right now, man. Yeah. He was injured last year. He didn't produce the way that people would like him to. This year, I think, is going to be the year that Keenan Allen really produces for people. His route running is one of the best in the league. He's so strong, man. Did you see the video that I posted on our story?
He's a big guy, dude. Yeah, he went and plowed him over.
And just makes it look easy, man. Makes it look easy. Like he looks like a fucking D end.
Yeah.
And Yeah, imagine trying to cover him one-on-one, man. It's like covering Mike Evans, a tall, physical wide receiver, or like A.J. Brown here, like we were just saying, a physical wide receiver like that. I think that's the hardest thing to cover besides speed is a physical wide receiver.
Yeah, because you never know with them, dude. They're going to be sitting there waiting for that ball, dude. Jump ball, hand fighting. Yeah. I
Don't get
but
me
I
wrong,
don't know.
it's great too. Route running's probably the best thing you could have, but
Yeah.
just I think a physical wide receiver and speed is harder to cover.
Well, they played the Raiders this week, didn't they?
Who?
The Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've seen a video, bro, of Keenan Allen. He was getting chirped at by Max Crosby. And I don't know if it was this season or last season, but, dude, he was getting – I'm pretty sure it was this year. But he was getting chirped at, dude, by Max Crosby. And he's like, all right, remember that. He's like, all talk. He's like, all talk. Like, that's what Keenan Allen was saying. And he went out there. He went out there, dude, and then just fucking got a tutty, dude. Like, and he's like, he's like, keep talking. And that's what I mean. You go and like Max Crosby, I know he talks shit, but dude, you're not the one out there covering Keenan Allen, bud.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, bro? Like, keep that to yourself, bro. Like,
18 receptions. That is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So yeah, that was when that's when I was telling you how he cooked Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
That was against Byron Murphy when he cooked him that way. Yeah, Keenan Allen special, dude. I don't know what's going on with their rookie that they picked up, Quentin Johnston. He only has 4 catches for like
40.
60 yards.
Yeah, or he has 60 yards, I'm sorry.
Yeah, something like that, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on with him.
Jigba, dude.
Well, dude, that Josh Palmer stepping up in them.
Yeah, he was all right last year when they were dealing with injuries too, Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
Same thing with Joshua Kelly. He's not bad either. He's a good number 2 running back to have.
Yeah. But like you were saying with Jackson Smith and Jigba, dude, what is going on with him, bro? Like, so not this Monday, but last week they went to him and they're like, hey, Gino came out after halftime. JSN was sitting on the bench. He comes up, he gives him knuckles. He's like, hey, be ready. We got you for a reason. You're special. Not a catch then.
Yeah.
So then this Monday, dude, he only had 3 catches, and they're for like 2 little dump downs, 2 yards. But like I was watching his routes, it don't even look like he's running the routes out there, man.
No, it really don't. They don't use him the right way.
No.
They don't. And it's a shame because he is going to be in Seattle for the next 4 years. And they're going to have DK and they're going to have Tyler Lockett, most likely Tyler Lockett for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
So,
but let's go. Since we're on to Seattle, let's go and talk about the Seattle Giants game.
Yeah, we might as well.
And I don't think I don't think that's all Daniel Jones' fault. I think the one pick that he threw to Devin Witherspoon, Devin Witherspoon, man, is a beast.
Yeah,
is a beast.
There's a reason why they took him so high, dude.
Yeah, he went 5th overall, 2 sacks, and then a pick 6. Now that pick 6 was Daniel Jones' fault. Like even Peyton Manning was sitting there. And when Jones made that throw, he literally goes like this, sits back in his chair, and he's just like, and then Eli Manning with the dumb like that, dude. So, I mean, dude, but that was Daniel Jones's probably only fault that game, dude. He's getting killed, 10 sacks, bro. And
like you said, dude, the pick 6 was beautiful on Witherspoon's part, man. That was a 97-yard pick 6, man. And did you see the hard cut that he gave?
Yeah, bro, Daniel Jones.
Dude, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
That kid is going to be good, man, in a couple of years. He's already good.
And he's lined up with Tariq Woolen and that Michael Jackson Sr., dude. He ain't like a scrub.
That secondary's young, dude, and they are fucking good.
Because then you got former Giant Julian Love there. He's one of their safeties. Then you have Quandre Diggs, who's arguably a top 10 safety in the league. And then, let's go on this then. Jamal Adams, man. Lays Paris Campbell out.
Needed ahead, dude.
Yeah, but dude, his first rush that he had, he goes and makes a QB hurry. He gets a QB hurry and a QB pressure. Then his next play that he impacts, he absolutely demolishes, and I'm pretty sure it was Paris Campbell. And I'm like, yo, Jamal Adams is back. Like, holy fuck.
I would love to see him start heating up again.
And, dude, that just sucks because when I was on live stream, I was like, you can't really help it with a concussion. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be different if it's something with, like, he tweaks something in his leg or, like, how he normally gets, like, the pec injuries and the tri injuries.
Mhm.
it'd be something like, all right, maybe if he did that, you'd be like, oh, well, dude, Jamal Adams can't seem to stay healthy, but you can't help a concussion. And it
No.
was an open field tackle, but I mean, dude, that sucks because he was going off. And when Jamal Adams is on that field, he is something else.
One of the best safeties in the league for sure when
Yeah.
he's healthy.
Yeah, like people are in the comments saying that might be that the Jets won that trade. Right now, it does look like the Jets won that trade, but if Jamal Adams really can stay healthy, he is like he's not even really a safety. Like he's a hybrid. Like
He's
he
a
plays
hybrid,
down.
yeah.
Yeah, he plays down like in the box, like with the linebackers and shit, dude.
How about the way Bobby Wagner plays in Seattle, man? He was on the Rams, man, and it just didn't look right. And now he's back in Seattle, and he's back to being that dude, man. He's back to being one of the best linebackers in the league.
I think he had 2 sacks in that game too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
dude.
Bobby Wagner's a fucking freak, dude.
Yeah.
Absolute freak. I would say Seattle has one of the most underrated defenses in the league.
Well, dude, they're bringing back the Legion of Boom, man.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
They're saying that people are calling it the Legion of Boom #2.
That'd be cool, dude, if they gave it that
Yeah.
nickname, like 2.0.
I mean, dude, if Jamal Adams would stay healthy, he wouldn't even be in the Legion of he would. I mean, they used it as like the secondary, as a Legion of
Yeah,
Boom.
it was pretty, like Sherman, Cam
Sherman,
Chance.
yeah. And then like Brandon Browner and Earl Thomas, and like then they brought Byron Maxwell. But like
Earl Thomas, dude, holy shit.
yeah, I mean, dude, Cam Chancellor, that's a career.
And Cam Chancellor. Imagine having them two on the same team in today's league.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Cam Chancellor wouldn't make it in this league, bro. He'd be laying people out and getting ejected too much.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, he would. The way that he would hit people, dude, was insane.
And that's what sucks, bro. Is he retired at like 29, 30 years old, or like anywhere from 29 to 31 with a neck injury?
Same thing with Luke Kuechly retiring with his head injury. It's sad players like that retire at such a young age. Luke Kuechly would have been one of the greatest linebackers ever, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, dude. In that Giants game, though, like everyone's like, "Oh, Daniel Jones this, Daniel Jones sucks." Dude, that was just horrible, man. Like I felt bad for even them leaving him in that second to last drive. When he came in, I was like, dude, there's no way yous are coming back. Yous are down 24 to like 3. I'm like, there's no way. Like, just bring the backups in. And dude, he came out and got laid out. He came out and got sacked then again, dude. He was running for his life. Like, you're paying the guy $35 million, man. Like, you know, like there's nothing he can do. It's not his fault. Like, they had 2 injuries on their offensive line, but like, dude, there's nothing that he can do. And Darren Waller really isn't doing much, dude.
No, he's not. He's not. He's 32 years old. I think Darren Waller's on his downslope now. But the thing with Daniel Jones that I wanted to say is, man, is that I don't think it's all Daniel Jones's fault, but I do think a lot of it is, because you have to think too, like even with the line thing, Daniel Jones only has 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He only has a little bit over 700 yards, 760, I think. So, I mean, he's not really playing either. So I don't think you could really put all the blame on the line. I think a lot of that blame has to go on Daniel Jones too. And I know people say that Daniel Jones is good, and I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's right around average. Do I think he's worth $35 million a year? Absolutely not.
No.
I think he proved that on multiple occasions. The other night was one of them.
Yeah.
And with him being sacked 10 times, dude, on Dable's part, why would you not take Daniel Jones out in the 4th quarter after he was sacked 10 times? Dude? Are you really going to risk that fucking injury to the player that you're paying $35 million a year? And all your fans are hoping is like this franchise quarterback?
Yeah, like you signed him 4 years, $160 million. Like, all right, hey, let's take this loss. Let's get out of this game and let's regroup. You know what I mean? Like, take the loss, dude, but don't go out there and when he's getting sacked 10 times, go and risk him.
And
like,
he's getting hit hard, dude.
Yeah.
He's taking hard-ass hits, dude.
Yeah, like, and I mean,
shaking his helmet back into place.
Another thing, too, is they don't have Saquon, which could help so much. I mean, Matt Breida didn't play horrible for what they were given. But, I mean, having Saquon, dude, out of the backfield, dude, to have that check down and stuff, like, without Saquon, dude, they're not really going and like showing, dude, like, have that threat. Like, they don't have, and I will be the first to say this, I don't care what anyone says, whether they like Darius Slayton, like Jalen Hyatt, like Wendell Robinson, Isaiah Hodgins, Darren Waller. They don't have a clear number one.
They don't.
And I know that they do not go and trust themselves going and saying, yo, let's go and pay this guy, because look at what happened the last time with Kenny Galladay. Pay him all this money and then he shits the bed. So
Absolute bust.
and then like Jalen Hyatt, you got to get him in there more. Let's see what he got then.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, dude. I would really like to see Jalen Hyatt get a lot more time.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they don't have a clear number one. Let this kid get some more time and see what he can do. Darius Slayton's good. I think Darius Slayton runs pretty good routes, but he's not a clear number one, man. He's like a Chase Claypool. He's not a clear number one, but he has moments where he plays some good ball.
And you see what happened with Claypool now too.
Yeah, and they're saying actually, dude, that Philly might bring him in as a number 3.
Yeah, like he was.
You'd have to trade Quez probably, but I would probably take Claypool over Quez, man. Quez can't catch. He's fast, but he can't catch.
Well, dude, that I don't know how to pronounce his name, Zacchaeus or whatever, number 13 for the Eagles. He's really been stepping it up. So, I mean, and it's going to show, like, hey, what we're paying this guy less. You know,
yeah, he had a touchdown, dude, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, against yeah, he did. Yeah, he had a tutty. The whole thing is what I was gonna say about Claypool is Claypool went and the media asked him, they're like, do you think that the Bears are using you to your full potential? And he was like, no. And they're like, dude, after he said that, they interviewed Justin Fields. They're like, did you hear what Chase said? And what's going on with Chase? Like, they asked him last week, they're like, don't even fly with us. Don't even come to this game with us. Stay home. We're trading you.
They said that to people.
Yeah, dude. They told him, dude. They're like, you're not flying with us. We're looking for a trade to get you out of here. And Justin Fields was like, they're like, do you think he said the wrong thing? He's like, yeah, he did. He's like, Chase is a guy that kind of really avoids the media. He doesn't really like talking. He's like, and he's caught him. But, dude, Chase Claypool, man, Pittsburgh robbed them. They got the 32nd pick and got Joey Porter Jr. He'll develop into a really good corner, and that's a fairy tale story that him and his dad both played there. Chase Claypool definitely wasn't worth a top 32 pick, and a 32 pick would normally be a first rounder, but last year there was only 31 picks because one of the teams got theirs removed. I think it was the Dolphins. Yeah, the Dolphins lost their pick with the tampering with Tom Brady. So there was only 31 first-round picks. But, I mean, I don't know. Get Chase Claypool out of there, dude. He hasn't done nothing. He has like 10 total catches since he's been there. The Bears haven't won a game since October 2022.
Yeah, it's been over a year.
Almost a year. Yeah. Like that's pathetic.
I would say Chase Claypool's best game ever was when he was a rookie and he put up 3 touchdowns against Philly.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
I would say that's probably his best game ever.
Mm-hmm.
He's not even known for another game besides that.
No. Chase Claypool's done, dude, but you got to go and let him go and get some fresh air somewhere else. Let him go on a new team, start somewhere, get a fresh start, Justin Fields, he had a pretty good game after all the talk that's been happening with him.
Touchdowns, 300-plus yards, man.
But then he had that interception to lose the game.
Good. He looked good, though. He looked good. I said it last week, man. I think a change of scenery would do Justin Fields good.
They're saying if he went to Atlanta right now that they'd be 1,000 times better.
I saw that, yeah.
Get Desmond Ritter out of there. Yeah, get Desmond Ritter out of there.
While we're talking about the Falcons, actually, right now, I want to bring up Kyle Pitts. This is arguably the best tight end talent that we've ever seen, not getting used to his potential, outplayed by Jonnu Smith, and it's not his fault. It's he's not getting the ball thrown to him. No. They're not using him right at all. Kyle Pitts deserves better, man. Free Kyle Pitts. I would very much like to see him get traded before the deadline, if not after this season, because if he stays in Atlanta, he is not going to be fucking good.
Yeah. No.
Not his fault. He's a great player. He's a great athlete, but he just doesn't have a quarterback, man. And if they don't want to move on from Ritter, it's going to be a major, major problem for Atlanta.
Dude, I was sitting there watching highlights, bro, of on TikTok of Pitts literally wide open, and Desmond Ritter's not looking his way. You know what I mean? And dude, like he's sitting there, he's like, dude, what? Fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, or what were you saying? I thought you were done. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say with Ritter, dude, too, is is throw Taylor Heineke in there. Taylor Heineke is that dog, dude. Yeah, he's 30, 31 years old, but he's that dog, dude, that led the Commanders to so many wins. I know you drafted Ritter. You are hoping that he does something. But, dude, unfortunately, looking at it now, he's not going to. Desmond Ritter is not a good quarterback, but my whole thing is dude, start Heineke. Again, dude, Desmond Ritter went and sat behind Mariota last season, came in the last 4 games, looked like complete dog shit. Then they're like, all right, well, he's looking all right during training camp. All right during training camp. Dude, you guys signed Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke could have just stayed in Washington and been the starter there. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm going to go to a new team, compete, get a fresh start too somewhere else, because he felt like with Washington, they're like, oh, well, we got Sam Howell. We have drafted him. Dude, Taylor Heineke could go and lead that team, man. He has that dog mentality in him and has that leader mentality to where, and that underdog. So, like, dude, get Desmond Ritter out of there. Let Taylor Heineke start. Let Desmond Ritter learn another year, if anything. You know, like, dude, they have a good team. They have a good team all around. Drake London, man, like, come on.
I was just going to bring him up, dude. The same thing I said about Kyle Pitts, the same thing applies for Drake London. They took Drake London and Kyle Pitts, both top 10 overall. Who did they both have throwing them the ball? Desmond Ritter. Like you said, he's not a good quarterback, man. Get Taylor Heineke in there, dude. He can get the job done. He fucking gave Philly their first loss last year at home, man. A team that was in the Super Bowl. Throw him in there, dude. He has a good deep ball, man. He doesn't have bad reads. He can kind of move around. He is 32 years old, but he'll get the job done for you until you can
even do with him
or sign somebody.
Even with him, dude, he went, and I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, he gave Tom Brady, the GOAT, a run for his money in the wild card round of the playoffs or the divisional round.
He's not a bad quarterback, dude. He's really not. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the entire league.
Like, dude, he is one that can go and get that team behind him. Go and get them and be like, yo, follow me. Let's go win this game. Like, dude, I don't know if you've seen it. Matt Collins, Desmond Ritter came over to dab him up, and Matt Collins went up and got in his face.
Oh, did he?
Dude, yeah, dude.
See that.
And, dude, he's like, hey, I know what our expectations could be, and when we're not playing like that, because they're like, yo, why'd you do that? But Matt Collins, no offense, dude, you have no – in his, like, 7 or 8 year career in the league, he has 1.5K total receiving yards. But you have no right, dude. You have no talk to come in and do that. You know what I mean? But it was funny. And, like, then it goes and shows Ritter, yo, like, step it up. The team, you're losing the team.
That's like, dude, space, man.
You can see, though, like, that's the difference with, like, a guy like Matt Collins. Bro, you're a nobody. But then you got guys like when Zach Wilson's down, like guys going and picking him up, dude. Or, like, people saying, hey, that's our QB. We're going to roll with him. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And one more thing I wanted to talk about, too, is because I want to go on with Dallas and the 49ers. But last week, Mac Jones absolutely sucked. And I'm not going to go, and because I'm an Eagles fan, and I know that Dallas viewers, you are going to think, yo, I'm about to go and diss Dallas. No, you have a great team. You have a great team. These are going to give us a run for our money. You're going to give the rest of the NFL a run for their money. But Mac Jones, the throws he was making, dude, across his body, he throws it across the field. He throws a pick to DeAndre Bland or whatever his name is. Like, dude, or to Jerome Bland. Yeah, he goes across his body, dude. He's on one side of the field, goes across his body and throws it over, and it's a pick six to Jerome Bland. This is embarrassing. And, you know, Belichick, and they brought Bailey Zappi, and Bailey Zappi didn't do much then either. But, dude, like, Mac Jones isn't the guy. And a lot of people around the league hate Mac Jones. They're saying that he has no personality. His teammates all hate him because he's a dirty player. He's a dirty player in the league. He's done a lot of dirty moves, and his teammates actually went and confronted him about that because they don't like the dirty stuff that he does to players on the opposing team.
I read about that. I don't think Mac Jones is that dude either, but I think the best thing for the Patriots is to just go in an offensive rebuild.
Yeah.
It is, man, because they have a good front office. They have good coaching. They can be a good team in a couple of years if they just went into a rebuild.
I mean, I wouldn't go and put it against them, dude. Like, again, like the Patriots are known for these QBs that are standing in the pocket and stuff like that. Dude, maybe go make a call. You know, that right now we're seeing that their front office is out there making calls for trades. They just got J.C. Jackson back for a 6th round pick and they gave them they got a 6th round pick or something. They gave a 6th round and got a 7th, something like that. But
Give Jacoby Brissett a call.
Yeah, you had him before.
Jacoby Brissett a call, yeah. That's what I mean, dude. He was there before, man. He knows the playbook. Give him a call, man. He played better football than Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm. But going on to this Dallas 49ers game, what are you expecting out of this, Steve, after the game that Christian McCaffrey had last week?
I mean, I would think it's stupid for anybody to say that Dallas is going to win this game, but I do think it's going to be closer than most people think because Dallas put up 37 points on New England, man. I think it was 37, wasn't it?
I think it was 38. Yeah, it was like
it was
38-3, yeah.
Oh, all right. And New England gave Philly a good run for their money. So, I mean, if Dallas' secondary can step up and if they can give Tony Pollard maybe 23 to 25 carries and he rushes for 100 yards or more, I think that would be their best shot at keeping the game close. But I do think the 49ers are going to win it. Dallas' secondary doesn't have the weapons on their secondary, man, to contain Christian McCaffrey. Now that Brandon Ayuk's back, Deebo Samuel
tearing it up, dude.
Yeah, he's good, man. I said in the beginning, dude, he's my pick for breakout player of the year, and he's been tearing it up.
Dude, like, and that's what I mean with the 49ers, bro. Like, if you see all the firepower, can you believe this? That Deebo Samuel did not have one catch last week. But Brandon Ayuk went and tore it up. Christian McCaffrey, dude. Christian McCaffrey, and I don't know where people have him ranked, but he's in that top 5 to 7 for MVP voting. And he might, if he keeps this up, I'm not joking when I say that, dude, he could be the running back that wins this MVP. And I don't know, did Adrian Peterson win an MVP? Dude, I think AP won an MVP, dude.
I don't know, honestly.
I'm pretty sure Adrian Peterson, dude, won an MVP.
I would say it would probably be in 2014.
Yeah, when he had that big season, dude, I'm pretty sure AP won it.
It might have been, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't too big in the football back then, but I did kind of watch it. But he might have won an MVP because he was great. He's one of the best running backs ever.
I think with the Cowboys and 49ers, I think it should be a good game. I know that Dak Prescott was pissed off when reporter asked him, he's like, so what did it feel like leaving that locker room last season? And Dak was like, really? You're going to ask me about last season? I see you're just trying to piss me off, and I appreciate it. I think, dude, that Dak Prescott needs to have a big game, and CeeDee Lamb, if anything. And you need to find a way to get the 49ers off the field. And I don't know how you contain Christian McCaffrey, but you better find a way because no one yet has found a way to contain Christian McCaffrey.
See, I would say that I think that Dak needs to get going and CeeDee going, but I just think the 49ers pass rush, man, is so good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You don't even have to talk about Fred Warner or Nick Bosa. I mean, they speak for themselves literally every moment that they're on the field. Fred Warner is probably the best running back in the league. You could argue that Nick Bosa is the best DN in the league. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and then you have guys like that safety that I was telling you about earlier that has two interceptions for weeks. Yeah, Tufunga. He's just a cocky son of a bitch, man, starting fights and shit. So
yeah, like I was saying, dude, how James Conner went and put his finger in his mouth because he did something dirty to Josh Dobbs. Arizona kind of gave the 49ers a good game.
Yeah, they just have, man. I don't think Josh Dobbs is playing bad either, man.
No.
I mean, given the circumstance that he was put in, dude, he's not playing bad football. Look at the team that's around him.
Yeah,
Jonathan Gannon's the worst coach in the fucking league, 100%. Yeah. He was the worst D coordinator on Philly.
You know what I was reading too about that? Is I was reading that he was hired as like a 1-year rental to where they can go and draft like a good quarterback or something. Like, so he'll get, like, they'll fire him after this year or something like that. Is Kyler Murray going to come back? I don't think he needs to.
Yeah.
I think Kyler Murray might be done in Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
I think the reason that they went and like cut Colt McCoy, and because Colt McCoy could go out there and like at least compete, they're like, oh, if we go and get Josh Dobbs, dude, he's not gonna compete. He's gonna suck.
And he's
Josh
actually
Dobbs proving him wrong.
Yeah. little
So
ball.
I think they're just trying to tank, dude. They were trying to tank in the beginning to get Caleb Williams, which in a little bit we'll talk about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Josh Dobbs is playing pretty well, man, and Marquise Brown and stuff too. So I hope Josh Dobbs does good, man. I like Josh Dobbs.
You know who else is playing well that I really want to bring up, dude? Devon Achane.
Yeah.
I think he's going to take over as the number one back in Miami very soon, dude. I think slowly in each game you're going to see him get more and more receptions out of the backfield and carries. He played 65% of the snaps, dude. In the past 2 games, he's had 6 touchdowns, over 300 yards, 71 fantasy points.
I think it was like anywhere from like 70 to 78 total fantasy points last 2 weeks.
I have it written down somewhere. I don't even feel like.
Yeah, I think that dude, that he's good, man, and that's you know what happens too is, like I said last pod, is that Ahmed guy he got hurt, and Akeney or whatever dude was listed as a third on the depth chart, and then he comes and steps up, so he won his position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's stepping up big, dude, and I think he's primed to have another big game against the Giants. Given the game that Raheem Mostert had too, man, he had a fumble, so that only builds up Achane's case to be the number one back. He's the younger back. He's more fit. So, and he's speedy, dude. He's another – we were talking about speedy weapons that Miami has last week. He's just another speedster that you can add to that arsenal. Yeah, so, even if he does take over for Raheem Mostert, I think they're going to end up being better off with Akeney.
That's a good duo, man. That's a good duo.
It is. It's a great 1-2 punch. It might even be the best 1-2 punch in the league right now.
I wanted to bring something up before we wrap up with our stardoms and situms. Dude, I was talking to you about it and other people. Dude, with Caleb Williams, projected number 1 overall draft pick, possibly is going to be the first ever 2-time back-to-back Heisman since 1948, is saying I can make more money if I go back to USC next year than I could as a rookie in the NFL. And because of that, I can choose what team I want to play for. His destination to play for are the Cowboys, Raiders, Vikings, Giants, and 49ers. I think it's messed up, man. I think they started giving these kids way too much money in college, and now it's like, dude, I'll go back. It's literally all about the money. Like Shedeur Sanders, they're gonna go and get 10 mil. They're gonna go and get like $10 to $20 million, dude, in NIL deals, and now like they have that priority to where they're like, dude, I ain't playing for that team. I want to go to a good team and start.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders just running around in a Rolls Royce, man. He's a college football player.
Yeah, with literally $1 million on his wrist.
Yeah, literally. Even though his dad's Deion Sanders, but the kid's making his own money.
Yeah.
So imagine what Caleb Williams is making.
Literally, he's making. I think they said I was reading that Shedeur's making like $10 million in NIL deals right now. That's crazy. At 20 years old, that you're making $20 million.
The first year that he goes to the NFL, he'll probably make $900,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like his first, if they get drafted in the first round, your money goes down. You know, like dude, and that's the thing is now they have this fucking firepower under him to where it's like, oh, I'm gonna pick and choose which team I go to. Dude, it shouldn't work like that, man.
I like how you brought that up too, man, because I do think that it's going to ruin the league now that they brought that back. It's just because, like you said, Caleb Williams, man, he's saying, like, okay, a college player that's come into the NFL draft should not be giving demand saying, okay, I'll only play for this team, this team, this team, this team. If you want to accept the privilege that you're even coming in, that you're graced by the fucking powers of God to play football as good as you are, to even come into this league as the projected number 1 overall pick. He's going to be number 1 overall regardless. I shouldn't say say projected. He's going to be number 1 overall regardless. But he should just be thankful, dude, for the opportunities that he's given, not making demands. I'll only play for this team, this team, this team, this team. And if not, I'll just stay back and make more money. Like, no, dude, the NFL.
You think like C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young wanted to go to the teams that they went to?
Yeah.
Houston and Carolina.
He wanted to go to Carolina? You don't think Bryce Young would go to Dallas if he wanted to?
Yeah. I mean, for real, dude.
Like what?
Yeah, like seriously, dude. You go to the team that's one of the worst, bro, that need a QB, that they're a QB away and they rebuild, dude. Like
that's why they have the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, that's messed up, dude, to go and sit there and, hey, I'm demanding this happens or I'm not playing. Eli Manning, though, did do that. In 2004, Eli Manning was drafted by the Chargers, number 1 overall. And he goes, even before the draft, though, he told them, he's like, him and his dad, Archie Manning, were like, we are not playing for yous. If you draft us, we're not playing. So then during that trade, they made a trade with the Giants and Phillip Rivers swapped. So Eli and Phillip Rivers swapped. But that's messed up, man. It's like, dude, you should play, like, and you should be happy that you're the first overall pick in the draft. You know what I mean? Like, not many people get to go and say, hey, I'm number 1. You think Baker Mayfield, dude, wanted to be a Cleveland Brown when he got picked?
Not only that, Caleb Williams is so gifted. Like, the minute that he comes into this league, he's going to be such a good fucking player.
Yeah.
Like,
he's going to make an impact.
If he wins back-to-back Heismans, like you said, what was it, since 1948?
Yeah.
Like, he'll be the first. He's going to make history, man. He's already shattered record books, so it doesn't even matter. So,
but that's what I mean, dude. Is that's why he's saying, hey, if I go and break a record and win back-to-back Heismans, what's to say I can't go and get 3?
See, but that's what annoys me, though. Or not that. That's not what annoys me. But what annoys me is if this was 2 or 3 years ago, Caleb Williams wouldn't be doing this because he wouldn't be making all that money.
Yeah.
He would just have to accept the fact, hey, I'm going to come in and play for a bad team. Do you think Trevor Lawrence wanted to get drafted by Jacksonville? They were in a rebuild stage.
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean. Like Baker Mayfield
and Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk. He didn't know that.
Yeah,
you just have to accept the fact and see what happens.
Yeah, like Baker Mayfield, who came in and to the Browns, who haven't won a playoff or went to the playoffs in 52 years.
Yeah, and who knows? And who knows, dude? You can come into the league and make a bunch of money with like how Baker came into the league and instantly he started making a bunch of money with Hulu, doing those Hulu commercials.
Yeah. Well, and dude, when you're a first-round pick, you get that big, like, $18 million signing bonus.
Yeah, especially the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, you get like 30-some mil.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. But I'd agree if he went back to say, what's to say I can't win a 3rd Heisman? That's the only way I'd say, like, all right, respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only way I'd say. But, like, dude, what he's saying right now is it's all money, dude. Like, it's not even about, oh, I can be the first to win 3 in a row or win just 3 right there. But, like, dude, it's all about the money. Like you said, dude, like, you think all these guys wanted to go to the teams they were drafted to? No. You know, there's other teams like New England that's sitting in the far draft that were a QB away. You think that they don't want to go and say, hey, I want to play with Justin Jefferson in Minnesota or Mac Jones or you know what I mean, or in New England where they're a QB away and shit like that.
We're playing fucking AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, like the Raiders. Like he's saying, oh, I want to play for the Raiders.
Yeah, we're playing Vegas. Like, no shit.
Yeah, literally, bro.
No, I agree. Or like for a Florida team. I'm surprised he didn't say a Florida team.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm surprised he didn't say Tampa or Jacksonville.
I'm surprised he said the Giants.
Me too. Because
I guess
Jones all that money. They wouldn't just cut Daniel Jones and draft Caleb Williams.
No, but they'd probably go and sit Daniel Jones. If you go in here, you're getting Caleb Williams.
When you're paying $36 million, I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, no. But I mean, the reason I could see him why he's saying the Giants is because he knows that that's a big market. New York's a big market.
Oh yeah.
So he knows he can go and make money out there.
Yeah. Hell yeah! Imagine playing football in the Big Apple. Or in the Big Apple is Caleb Williams.
So let's go to our start and sit-ems. We got on the bye weeks. We have Seattle, Tampa, Chargers, Browns. Steve, let me hear your startums for this week.
Yeah, for startums, because of all the bye weeks, man, I want to AJ Brown's had his past couple weeks. He obviously just had 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the week before he had 130, and I think he had a touchdown too. I'm not 100% sure. I forget. But I'm starting Devontae Smith this week. I think he has a big week against LA. They don't really have 2 good corners, and I think AJ is going to attract a lot of the attention given the last 2 games that he had. And I'm starting Alvin Kamara too. I think in Kamara's return, he looked good, man. So, and given that Derek Carr's hurt, Jameis Winston's not really playing that good. I think
Carr played last week actually.
Oh, did he play for them?
I was surprised. Yeah, when I threw them on, I was surprised he was in the game. I thought he was. And the commentators were even saying he was playing with a hurt shoulder too. So.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, with Kamara, yeah. If Carr's hurt, dude, they need to let the load off of him.
I'm still starting Kamara either way.
Yeah.
He's still starting for me, even if Derek Carr's in.
My stardoms I have this week is Jordan Love against the Raiders. The Raiders have allowed at least 18 points to every quarterback, and Jordan Love this week, he's getting back a health. Like Christian Watson played last week, but now he's getting him fully healthy. You have Christian Watson fully healthy. You're getting Aaron Jones fully healthy back, and Romeo Dobbs has been, dude, producing pretty good to where he's a flex option in fantasy football leagues right now. And I mean, dude, like Aaron Rodgers was so high on him. He said before Aaron left, I think I said this last pod, is he's like, that guy reminds me of a guy I used to know. And he was talking about Devontae Adams. So I think, yeah, that they can go in and produce pretty good. If Aaron Jones is healthy too, he's a good receiving back. And, you know, Christian Watson and that Reed guy is playing really good too.
Yeah, Jaden Reed. He's a good deep threat.
Yeah. And my other stardom is Breece Hall versus the Broncos. I think Breece Hall is due for a big game. He hasn't had one since week 1, and he's been not really getting the ball much, to where he's bitching about that. And
but since Broncos, he complained, he got more.
Huh?
He's getting more touches since he complained.
Yeah. And cool. I think too, like I said in the beginning, is with Zach Wilson, he can't carry it every week.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? So this is a week where it's like, all right, we know we can trust Zach if the time's right, if we need him. But let's go and take the load off of him. Let's get Breece Hall going. I'm not going to say nothing about Dalvin until I see him actually do something this year. But and the Broncos, they've allowed the most rushing yards this season from any other team by over 100 yards. So they're out leading every team right now by 100 yards. They're top 5 in receiving yards, in receiving yards, receptions, receiving touchdowns to running backs this year. So, I mean, start Breece Hall. I think he's going to have a good game.
I like that. I like that you said Breece Hall, because for Siddums, I'm sitting Dalvin Cook, just because, like you said, I think Breece Hall's due for a big game, and Dalvin Cook's really not producing the way that you would want him to. You would think that Dalvin Cook would be a reliable running back 2, if not a running back 1 in fantasy, and he's not proven to be either or. So I'm benching Dalvin Cook this week, and I'm also benching Miles Sanders. I listened to Field Yates talking on this video on fantasy this morning, man, and he summed it up really good for me, because I have Miles Sanders and I have Devon Achane. Miles Sanders you'll see Miles Sanders get more carries and be involved in the offense probably more than you'll see Achane, but you'll see Achane produce more points. You'll see him be more effective on like passing routes and stuff like that, and you'll probably see him score once or twice. So that summed it up pretty well for me, because I have both of the players, so I'm sitting Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely don't think Miles Sanders is producing the way I would have expected him, but right now they're kind of in shambles in Carolina. You know what I mean? I actually was reading about that even though Adam Thielen's doing great, is that Carolina's looking to trade for a number 1 receiver, because they have to help Bryce Young out a little bit. You can't really rely on Adam Thielen the whole time, and they're saying that they're missing a void since getting rid of DJ Moore, and they regret getting rid of DJ Moore. But my sittums that I have this week is, I mean, it's obvious, Najee Harris. He had his best fantasy game of the season with 11.5, but Jaylen Warren also did that. And Jaylen Warren's been taking a lot more out of the backfield than Najee. He's been getting a lot. He's been more or less the receiving back for them. So I'm sitting Najee Harris this week, and they're going up against the Ravens. And, I mean, with the Ravens defense, they have a really good defense. 2 tough-ass linebackers with Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen. You know, so I don't think Najee's really going to get going in that game. And I have Cortland Sutton versus the Jets. Enough said. Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed are going to shut them down. Yeah. The Broncos don't look that good, even though Russell Wilson's throwing for 300 yards a game. Be ready for a couple turnovers this week, because Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed are going to go and shut them down. Jerry Jeudy's bitching. Philip Lindsay said something last week. He tweeted, and he was like, he's like, he's like, when you have this offense and it sucks that you have the no-show wide receivers, or it's a no-show from the receivers. And Jerry Jeudy clapped back. He's like, glad you can watch the game from your couch, fam.
Yeah, I saw that.
He ain't in the league anymore.
I saw that. Dude, that's funny as shit.
And right there, though, with how we were saying about trades with Carolina, don't be surprised if Jerry Jeudy's on their option, because they've been talking about making a trade. Yeah, Denver's been trying to trade for a little bit. Yeah,
I agree.
So that's all we got for you this week. Next podcast, we'll be introducing a new cast member, Kobe from Pentech. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be doing live streams on Thursday night games, Monday night games, and for some of the Sunday night games, tune in to our TikTok, Buzz Talk Sports. We also got a Facebook page, Buzz Talk Sports, and an Instagram page. And we'll be getting a Twitter coming very soon. So, hey, thank you guys for tuning in.
And October 22nd, we're going to be going to the Miami and Eagles game. So if there's any specific content you guys would like us to get while we're down there at the stadium, just let us know.
Yeah, and if there's any fans that are down there, man, hey, feel free to come up with us and bullshit about it.
Maybe get an interview. Hit us up.
Yeah. All right, see you guys.